In 1979, a new era in American education began. President Jimmy Carter signed the Department of Education Organization Act. This act formally established the Department of Education, or DOE. It was October 17th when the act was signed. This marked a significant expansion of the federal government's role in education. The DOE consolidated various federal education programs. It aimed to ensure equal access to education for all students. It aimed to improve the quality of education nationwide. And it sought to promote educational excellence across the country. The creation of the DOE was considered a major victory for education advocates. They had long argued for a cabinet-level department to elevate the importance of education. They believed that a dedicated department would bring much-needed attention and resources to address persistent educational challenges. These included issues like inequality and access. The DOE's formation was met with hope and optimism by many. They saw it as a step towards a brighter future for American students. However, the establishment of the DOE was not without its critics. Concerns immediately arose about potential federal overreach into education, a domain traditionally overseen by states and local communities. Some feared that the creation of a large federal bureaucracy would lead to increased inefficiency and less flexibility in tailoring education policies to local needs. These concerns, particularly pronounced among Republicans, would become a recurring theme in the decades following the DOE's creation. The birth of the DOE marked a pivotal moment in the history of American education. It signified a shift towards greater federal involvement in a realm traditionally governed at the state and local levels. While the department's creation was lauded by many as a necessary step towards addressing persistent educational inequalities and raising standards, it also ignited a debate about the appropriate role of the federal government in education, a debate that continues to resonate today. From its inception, the Department of Education faced strong opposition, particularly from Republicans. Ronald Reagan, a vocal critic of the department, made its abolition a central plank of his 1980 presidential campaign. Reagan argued that education was best handled at the state and local levels, closer to the students and communities it served. He viewed the DOE as a prime example of federal overreach, a bloated bureaucracy that would stifle innovation and impose a one-size-fits-all approach on a diverse nation. Despite Reagan's campaign promise to dismantle the DOE, he faced significant hurdles in achieving this goal. The department had garnered bipartisan support during its formation, and dismantling it proved to be politically challenging. While Reagan was unable to eliminate the department entirely, his administration managed to reduce its budget and staff, signaling a shift towards a less centralized approach to education policy. This emphasis on local control and a reduced federal role in education resonated with many conservatives and libertarians. They argued that states and communities were better equipped to understand and address the specific needs of their students. They believed that empowering parents with greater school choice, through measures like vouchers, would foster competition and drive improvements in education quality. These ideas gained traction within the Republican Party, shaping their approach to education policy in the decades to come. The early years of the DOE were marked by a constant push and pull between those who saw it as a vital tool for advancing educational equity and those who viewed it as an unnecessary and intrusive layer of bureaucracy. This tension would continue to define the department's existence, shaping its evolution and influencing the national conversation about the role of the federal government in education. The landscape of American education policy continued to evolve with significant legislation like No Child Left Behind and Every Student Succeeds. These acts brought changes that aimed to address the diverse needs of students in schools across the nation. The journey from No Child Left Behind to Every Student Succeeds reflects the ongoing efforts to balance federal oversight with local control, striving to ensure that every student has the opportunity to succeed in an ever-changing educational environment. As the years rolled on, federal education policy began to see significant shifts. It wasn't just about funding anymore, it was about shaping the very fabric of the education system. The policies introduced aimed to address inequalities and ensure that every child had an equal opportunity to succeed. This era marked a pivotal moment where education became a central theme in national discussions, reflecting broader societal changes. However, not everyone agreed with the expanding role of the federal government in education. There were voices calling for a return to local control, arguing that communities knew best how to educate their children. The debate intensified, leading to efforts to dismantle or significantly reduce the Department of Education's influence. This period was characterized by a tug-of-war between federal oversight and local autonomy, each side passionate about their vision for the future. Today, the nation remains divided on the future of education. Some advocate for increased federal involvement to ensure uniform standards and equal opportunities, while others push for greater local control and innovation. The conversation continues to evolve, reflecting the diverse perspectives and values of the American people. It's a complex issue, with no easy answers, but one thing is clear: the future of education will shape the future of the nation.